Okay, fine. Okay, Lamai. Today we are going to start off one of the most important lesson in your grade 10, that is about the graph. Graph lesson is one of the lesson where even a person who would score a W would actually touch this question. This guy is going to take 10 out of 10. But this guy truly touch this question. Here, this graph is gonna give you 10 plus 2 marks. That means 10 marks for your essay, 2 marks for your short question. All together, this is gonna bring you a 12 marks, which is gonna be 6 out of your 100. Where this is one of the most easiest lesson that you can score marks. But with years, we have identified when we talk to students. Students come and say, "What, sir? The Roman number 1 is easy. Roman number 2 is easy, drawing the graph. But, sir, when it comes to the questions after that only, sir, we lose all our marks. We always get around 6 out of 10. We get 4 out of 10, or sometimes it is 5 out of 10. Always we score half a mark, sir. We can't go for full capacity, okay? The participants is 100 to 100. Capacity is full now, the mind. So very nice to see. Hi, all good, all good. Okay, as you guys say. Okay, all good, all good. Okay, Lama. Now, when we come into this, always people are tended to score half a marks, always this topic. Half a marks and a score. Today, I will make sure, Lamai, trust me, Lamai, give you 100%. If any one of you guys are sleeping on your bed and attending this, you're not going to understand for sure. I'm 100% sure, Lamai. If you're in the bed, please do come to the table, attend it like a physical class. Lamai, I will guarantee you, if you give your 100% for these 2 hours or 2.5 hours, I will make sure you guys are getting that 10 out of 10 for this graph question. That practice will be made today, and you're going to be 100% okay with the theory. Once you complete all the practice question and exam type questions, which will be done in the theory class also, once you are done with that and once you are done with the past papers, I think everyone would be, everyone will be scoring 10 out of 10 for all the graph question, which is going to come until your second term of your grade 11. Grade 11, you'll be studying the grade 11 graph. 100% almost similar. You have only around another 2 to 3 theory which you're going to study. I mean, above that, above what you're going to study today. That is going to give you an idea on how to score that 10 out of 10 marks for your O-level talks. So today, we are going to study about the grade 10 graph. Before everything, it's very important to make sure you guys are studying about the straight line graph. Straight line graph. Now, you guys have been studying about straight line graph. You guys have been studying about straight line graphs from your grade 11. Hi. Grade 11 straight line graph the graph which you were drawing like this. The graph which you drew like this. The graph which you drew like this. That means you have been studying this from your grade 9. For the grade 10 first term also, this was tested. for the grade 10 second term, this is gonna get eliminated and you're gonna get a graph which is gonna look like a curve, like this, or like this. We'll be coming and studying this in another around 45 minutes of time. What we are gonna do is, Lamai, we are gonna make sure we are 100% okay with the straight line graph before we come into the parabola. Hari. In your grade 9, you have studied the format of the straight line graph. There is a general format. Remember, there is a general format that a straight line graph can be described. So that is what? Straight line graph can be described in a way where, I can call this as my y equal mx plus c graph. What is that graph? Y equal mx plus c graph. This is the main format that I have been giving for what kind of graph? Straight line graph. What is the format? Y equal mx plus c. In this, there are a few characters. Now again, I'm writing this. Y equal mx plus c. Y means the value of the y coordinate. X means the value of the x coordinate. M in the sense that is called as your gradient of the graph. Gradient of the graph. When it comes to C, C is called as intercept of the graph. What is C? C is called as intercept. M is called as your gradient. Gradient. Hi. Lamya. So listen to me very carefully. Y equal mx plus c is the general term out there, general term of the graph, where this should be the format of a straight line where you have m and you have c. So, what is this m? What is this c? That's going to be the important thing. Let's learn what is this m and what is this c. I'm revising your grade 9, so give me some time to come into your grade 10. So look at the board very carefully. I have a straight line graph. Let's say I'm drawing the graph like this. This is my straight line. I call this as my x-axis. I call this as my y-axis. I have two axes, my x-axis and y-axis. What is this graph for me? This graph is called as my y equal mx plus c graph. Now my important thing is what? I need to define what is mean by gradient and I need to define what is mean by intercept. That is C. What is C and what is it? Listen to me very carefully. Lamaya, M kiyanne lamaya, the gradient kiyanne, the slope that the graph is taking from the x-axis towards the counterclockwise direction. Now I know clock is gonna turn like this. 12, 3, 4, 5, 6. Counterclockwise क्या opposite direction of the clock. Counterclockwise direction from the x-axis. If I start out, there is an angle formed, right? This angle is actually called as your gradient. So you don't want to go deep into that. You'll be studying deep about that in your A levels. Gradient means the slope that the graph is taking. Now this has a slope. It's a slope, right? Like climbing a mountain. I'm like climbing a mountain. It's a mountain. I'm climbing it. It's a matter make a graph gradient it is the slope that the graph is taking. Example, if I draw another graph, these are few important things which will take a little bit time, needs more explanation. So I want everyone to concentrate properly. I'm drawing a graph like this, straight line, like a straight line like this. I'm drawing another straight line like this. Now let's say I have two graphs. I have two gradient also. One gradient is m is equals to 3. One gradient is equals to m is equals to 4. Now when you compare both the gradients, which gradient is the largest gradient? M is equals to 4 is larger than n is equals to 3. So 4 is larger than 3. Now I'm asking which graph? I have two graphs here. One graph is making this angle. One graph is making this angle. Now when I compare both the angles out here, the angle of the graph which is drawn here, I'm highlighting again with the black. So, Ramya, this graph which I have drawn, highlighted with the black, is the graph which is having a larger angle. This one, larger angle. If the gradient is larger, that should have a larger slope. Larger slope here. Now, more than this slope is larger. I can say the gradient of this graph is m is equals to 4. May hold on for a second. Hold on. Put that in. Now, the graph which has a larger angle, has the largest gradient. So I can say m is equals to 4 here and m is equals to 3 here. Now I'm giving a question to you. I have two axes. This is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. I have three gradients. What are the gradients? M is equals to 3, m is equals to 5, m is equals to 1 over 2. Hurry. I'm drawing graphs. I'm drawing three graphs. You need to say, I'm drawing a graph here. I'm drawing another graph here. I'm drawing another graph here. Hurry. How can you say which color has which gradient? Now you need to understand about the gradient. You need to have that idea. Hurry. I have given three gradients. Now, before I come into the gradient, I'm going to look into what the angles form. Now, for this graph, the green color graph here, the angle formed is this. For the yellow color graph, the angle formed is this. For the red color graph, angle formed is this. Now, when I compare the angles, which angle is the smallest angle? Graph green has the smallest angle. Then graph yellow has the smallest angle. Then, sorry, this is smaller. This is the second one. And who's going to take this third place? G red. Now I need to separate this. Who has the smallest gradient out of this? M is equals to half. That half belongs to whom? Green. M is equals to half belongs to green. The second smallest one is 3. So here m is equals to 3 goes to whom? Yellow. And m is equals to 5 goes to whom? Red. What do you mean by gradient? The graph, the angle which is formed. That means the slopes. This slope is smaller slope. This is a larger slope. This is a very large slope. So very large slope will have what? The larger gradient. The medium slope will have the middle gradient. That is the third one. And the smallest slope will have the smallest gradient. That is what is called as your gradient. Is that clear, Lamai? Give me a thumbs up. Is that clear? What do you mean by gradient? Yes. Okay, fine. Okay, all good. Super. Now coming into the next one. Now, when it comes to y equal mx plus c, we are done with this guy. Now we need to find out who is this guy. How the machan noa? Wa mang allaganna kiyala then meyawa allaganda yanawa. Okay, let's see who is this person out here. Now, when I draw a graph, let's say I'm drawing a graph. Ito my graph තියෙනවා. Have a graph. I have a graph. In that graph, okay, this is what is my graph. Alright. Now in this graph, I know. I know what? This is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. This is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. Okay, fine. Now when I look at this graph is cutting 2 points of the Cartesian plane. What do you mean by Cartesian plane? Your x-axis and your y-axis. This graph is cutting 2 points, 2 main points in your Cartesian plane. What are the points here? I will mark this point out here. This is one point it is cutting, and this is the other point it is cutting. I have 2 points. Sir, then what do you mean by intercept, sir? Intercept I give a word for that. What is that word? C. A letter C. The intercept means the point which the graph cuts. I'm writing it way bigger. Y-axis. Which axis? Y-axis. Now I have the graph. This is the graph. This graph is cutting a point in the y-axis. Where is my y-axis? This is my y-axis, right? This is my y-axis. So it's cutting a point. What is the point here? Here. Make my point here. Now let's say this value where the graph is cutting is 2. That means my intercept of the graph is gonna be 2. I'm drawing another graph. This point where it cuts the y-axis, not the x-axis, it's the y-axis. This point is -3. Can I know what is the intercept of this graph? Intercept of this graph is going to be C is equals to -3. C is equals to -3. So remember, what do you mean by gradient? The slope that the graph is taking. When the slope is higher, the gradient is higher. When the slope is smaller, the gradient is also smaller. That is about the gradient. What is about the intercept? Intercept is the value or the point where the graph will cut which axis? I didn't hear you. Come on. Which axis?
Y-axis.
Y-axis.
All good. What do you mean by gradient and what do you mean by intercept? Now coming into your grade 10 part. Now take your tutes. Take your tutes, download your tutes. I'm sending the tutes in the Aitman chat box. Those who didn't have the tute, balaganna. Sorry. So those who doesn't have the tute, I'll send the tutes again in the chat box. Graph, grade 10 graph, sending a tute. I'm sending it again. So Lamai, after the class, I will clear off all your doubts. Please write down, have a sheet of paper. Write down all your doubts in a sheet of paper. Because if I'm gonna focus on each and every individual person out there and clear off the doubt, Lamai, I might do this lesson for almost 8 hours of time. It's not possible. So clear. I will please make sure you mark out all the doubts here and there. And after the class, I'll stay for an half an hour. You can ask all your doubts and clear it off one by one. So what are yes, we'll be doing. We'll be doing. Hurry, hurry. Now coming into the graph. Coming into the graph. Then graph now I have the first one. Y equal, they have given me an equation y equal 3x plus 2, and they have given another equation y equal 2y is equals to 4x plus 5. Now what are they requiring from this? They are asking me to find out what is the gradient of this graph and what is the intersect of this graph. What is the question they are asking? There are two examples. One is given as y is equals to 3x plus 2. One is given as but 2y is equals to 4x plus 5. Now they are asking what is the gradient and what is the intercept. Now I said you what? A straight line graph will have a common equation. What is that common equation? Y equal, it is what? Y equal mx plus c. mx plus c. Now, when I compare, x m the coefficient of x. Now, what is the coefficient of x here? M is equals to 3. So, gradient of this graph is equals to what? 3 is my answer. Plus c. Plus c the value which is getting added. Now, here I have the value. What is the value? C is equals to how much? C is equals to 2 is my answer. I'll do another example. Y equal 4x minus 4. What is the value of m? I know it is m equal m, y equal mx plus c. So I can write it as what? I can write it as what? Y equal mx plus c, m is equals to what? 4. C is equals to what? You can't write 4. You have minus 4 there. So you will be writing minus 4 there. So remember, the coefficient of x is called as your gradient and the constant term there is called as your intercept. That is done. Now you are coming. Sir, what QM sir? The coefficient of x is only gradient and the constant term is the intercept. Now I'm following your words. Here you are writing what? Y equal mx plus c. What is the value of m? M is equals to 4. And what is the value of c? C is equals to 5. If you write like this is completely wrong. So why? You taught us the same thing here and you are saying this is wrong. Am I right? At this point, why it was correct is I had the coefficient of y as 1. Only if the coefficient of y is 1, I can say m is equals to 3. I can take the coefficient of x as gradient and the constant term as c. Only if it is what? The coefficient of y is 1. If I have a number here more than 1, that means 2, 3, 4 or any other numbers more than 1 or minus or anything, you can't take this as your gradient and you can't take this as your intercept. Now what you're going to do, you're going to make sure you're going to rework out on this. Now what did I say? Only if the coefficient of y is 1, I can take the gradient and I can take the intercept. I'm now in the process of making this as 1. What I'm doing? 2. What I'm doing? I'm dividing this term by 2, this term by 2, and this term by 2. Everything out there, all the terms by 2.
So your camera.
Yes, thank you so much. Hold on for a
Video
second.
gone, sir.
Give me a minute.
Oh,
So Lamya, I divide everything by 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Y is equals to 2 times 1 and 2 times 2. Answer is 2x. So I'm writing 2x here. And I can't divide this Lamya. Every time make sure don't go for decimal answers. Keep it as a fraction itself. So I'm keeping this as what? 5 divided by 2. On hurry. Now compare your y equal mx plus c. Y, the coefficient of y here is 1 and 1. Now you can compare, get the answer. Now what is your gradient? M is equals to 2. What is your intercept? 5 divided by 2 is my answer. Is that clear how to do this? Give me a thumbs up.
So,
Super,
sir,
super,
we
super.
can keep the answers as fractions.
Yes, someone asked me a doubt. What is that?
We can keep the answers as fractions.
Yes, you can give the answers as fractions. Don't worry, you can give the answers as fraction. I don't recommend you guys writing it as a decimal. Please don't write any decimal answers in graph lesson. Please keep your final answers in fraction mode. Fraction mode will be given 100% marks for you. Now you'll be asking me, sir, this is what the improper fraction is, sir. Do I need to convert into mixed fraction? Well, grade 8 this is more than enough. You can get the full marks out there. Okay, fine. I'll give you 1 minute quickly. Those who have the tute, theory class students, please quickly take your tute and copy this down. This is page number 49. Those who have the tute, please take your tute and copy this down in page number 49. Example number 1 and example number 2. Others, please copy this down in your writing book. Tamai, please. Again, I'm saying, those who are in the bed, looking at this, you are here with a purpose. Make sure you are gaining that purpose for that 2.5 hours. Lamai. Your parents has been struggling a lot. Everyone has been struggling a lot. Lamai. May 1 and 2.5 picker. Make sure you give your 100% and get the 200% out of this. Please. It's a kind request from my side, Lamai. Please. I want everyone, no matter it is my theory student or anyone out there, please make sure you're gaining the knowledge within this 2.5 hours without wasting the time. Please write this in your writing book. Take a pen, type out. Only limited time will be given. You should be faster. Another 30 seconds. Are you done? Yes, all good. Moving to the next one. Now, there are several ways of testing you, Lamai. Several ways of testing you. If you're familiar with what are the questions they are going to ask, now you're going to an interview. Let's say you're going for an interview. If the interviewer, whether in Ekena, if you don't know the question, you are kind of nervous. Nervous. What he's gonna ask? Is he gonna ask about my personal life, or is he gonna ask about my education qualification, or is he gonna ask about anything out of the box or general knowledge question? You are kind of muqaddam. Your minds are deviating, and when it comes to girls, you overthink a lot. ලොකු මෙච්චර තියෙන ප්‍රොබ්ලම් එක මෙහෙමනේ හිතන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ. එතකොට when it comes to education also the same stuff. What is that? You don't know the possible way of asking the question. You go for the exam, you study, this is what is gradient, this is what is intercept. You go there, they ask you in several ways and you are kind of confused. Jumble up. Then Balanga, last equation, last one. What did I do? They gave me the equation. They gave me the equation. They gave me the equation. I found out what is my gradient, what is my intercept. Yes or no? They gave you the equation. You substituted with something. Make sure you found out the gradient and you found out the intercept. What is that? Equation was given. You found out gradient and you found out the intercept. Now what you're going to study is they are going to give you the gradient. They are going to give you the intercept and ask you to find out the equation or the other way around. But this question also can be tested in 3 to 4 weeks. Now we are going to study what are the types of questions that can be tested to get the equation done. Now before getting the equation, there is a formula to find out the gradient. I'm going to teach you that. Now there is a formula. What is the formula? The formula is gradient is equals to difference of y coordinates over difference of x coordinate. So what is this? M is equals to difference of y coordinates and difference of x coordinates. It's very difficult, sir. Okay. Relax. Look, breath up. Have a deep breath and relax a little. Hurry. Then M is equals to difference of y coordinates and difference of x coordinates. Obviously, to find out the gradient using the equation, you need to have two coordinates. So, what are these coordinates? Now, there will be students. There are 100. Obviously, there will be around 10 to 15 students who doesn't know what is a coordinate. This is for you guys because I personally teach for a student in a class where if that guy doesn't know anything, I will teach for him. Then only I will make sure everyone in the class will understand because there will be students who doesn't know anything also. If I am teaching that, I have satisfied everyone. So I'm teaching for that 15. Rest of the 85 is going to get that as a revision. Hi. Coordinate I'm drawing a Cartesian plane. This is what is called as a Cartesian plane. You have been studying this in your grade 8. Grade 8. Now let's say this is 3 and this is 3. If I take this point in the Cartesian plane, always a coordinate will be named the y value first and the x value second. X and y value, both of this. X and y value mage x axis this is my x axis and this is my y axis. Now, what is the value on the x axis? It is 3. I'm writing for the value of x as 3. What is the value of y? That is also 3. I'm writing that also as 3. Sir, both of them are 3. No, take a different coordinate, sir. Okay, I'll take a different coordinate. I need to find out what is this coordinate. I'm taking this as -2 and I'm taking this as -3. Now I said what? A coordinate is obviously the first one should be the x and the second one should be the y. Now find out what is the coordinate of this point. This point, the x-axis is this. So this is the x value. So it is -3 and this is going to be -2. So this is what is called as your coordinate. A location of a point in the Cartesian plane is called as a coordinate of a Cartesian plane. Then make it right? Gradient is called as difference of y coordinates over difference of x coordinates. Obviously, to find out the gradient, you need to have two coordinates. Two coordinates in the sense, I need to have x1 and y1. That means For the first coordinate, I'm saying x1 and y1. For the second coordinate, I'm saying x2 and y2. What is the equation of the gradient? M is equals to y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. See the difference? I took the difference, right? Difference in the subtraction of the y coordinates. Two coordinates are what? y1 minus y2. And then the difference of the x coordinate, x1 minus x2. Or else you can write in the other way around. Or you can write y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what is this? So you have two equations. You can take, you don't want to apply both of them. You need to apply one of them, but need to be careful of what you apply. Now here, on the top, if you have taken y1 first, on the bottom, it should be x1. On the top, if you have taken first y2, on the bottom, it should be x2. Now I'm saying the wrong thing. Samara Elianava, y1 minus y2 over x2 minus x1. This is completely wrong. This is wrong. Why? You have taken y1 and you are taking x2. 1 and 2. This is not the combination. 1 and 1 is the combination, or else 2 and 2 should be the combination. If you have taken 1 first, x also should be 1 first. Y in the sense, if you have taken y2 first, x2 should be taken first. Is that clear? The equation of the gradient. Equation of the gradient. Is that clear? Give me a thumbs up. Super. But Marai. Hurry. Ella. After this only Ella. Hurry. Fine. Now coming to the page number 49. Example number 1. They have given what? The coordinates of 2 points on a straight line are 3, 10 and 2, 6. They have given. What are the two coordinates? Coordinates are taken as what? 3, 10 and 2, 6. What is the question they are asking? Find the gradient of the straight line. Now I need to find the gradient of the straight line. Now think a little bit. Two coordinates are given, and if they are asking me the gradient, what is the formula I use? It should be m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x1 minus x2, or y1 minus y2 over x2 minus x1. This should be the formula, right?
Wrong.
Someone said no. Why is that? Why no?
So you should take the same.
I have taken 2 in the top in the sense I should take what? 2 in the bottom. The second coordinate on the bottom. In the bottom, may equation become a Varadi. I'm taking what? This is wrong. This is wrong. I'm taking x2 minus x1, x1 minus x2. Sir, what is this x1, x2? What is this y1, y2, sir? I am taking the full responsibility. Give me 3 minutes. I'll explain you this question. I don't know what is my x1 and x2. It's your wish. If you take this as your x1, if 3 is your x1, surely 10 should be your y1. Already, if you have taken this as x1, then x1 should be what? This should be x2 and this should be y2. Now let's say, sir, there are a few people who will ask what do you say that in that how the Kaundamani video, the jokes like in Kundakamanta question, Kundakamanta that Kundakamanta people are there. Able lang sir, can't I change and take it? Yes, you can change and take it. So if I take this as x1, and y1. Can't I take this as x2 and y2? Yes, 100% correct. You can take it. No matter what coordinate. But remember, you can't take this as x1 and this as your y2. No, no. This is 1 in the sense that also should be 1. This is 2 in the sense that also should be 2. You can change and take also, but you can't interchange x1, y2 there. Here also x1, y2 there. Name 1 and 1, 2 and 2 should be in the same coordinate. Correct. I know the values. Now I'm going to substitute. I'm using the equation number 2. Then what is the y2 value? Y2 is equals to 10. I'm writing 10. Minus. What is my y1? It is 6. Okay. I'm coming into this. X2. What is the value of x2? 3 minus value of x1, 2. What is the answer for this? 10
4.
minus 6 answer is 4. 3 minus 2 answer is 1. If I have 1 in the denominator, I don't give a shit about it. I consider 4 as my gradient. So what is your gradient? M is equals to 4 is your answer. Is that clear? How did I get this answer? Is that clear? How did I get this answer? Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Go to the reaction tab and give me a thumbs up. Super. I wanted everyone to copy this down under the example number 1 in the page number 49. I'll give you 1 minute. I'll give you 1 minute. Quickly. Very happy to see. Still the participants is full. 1. Yeah. On left hand. Hi. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Now I have almost around 50 plus messages in the chat box. After the class, I will reply one by one. As it's a seminar, all my online class students know how the reply would come. But as this is a seminar, I have to move on now without clearing off the doubts. But I'm making sure when I'm explaining itself, I know right what are the common doubts you're going to have. I'm clearing off all your common doubts. More than that, if it's also coming Lamai, I need to ask all your doubts and make sure I'm correcting myself and including all your doubts in the next draft seminar, which I'll be doing in the next day. Hi, done. All good. Now moving to the next page. Hi. Now you have two coordinates. What are the two coordinates? You have minus 2 comma 4, 1 comma minus 2. I'll give you 2 minutes. Try to find out the gradient of this coordinate. I'll give you 2 minutes. Try to find the gradient. 1 minute more. All good. Now things are getting a little bit difficult. Why? Sir, in the previous question, all were plus. In the previous question, every coordinate were plus. It was easy for me to do. But in this, I have minus values also. Okay, fine. Let me address that problem. Look at the board. I'm taking this as my x1 and this as my y1. This as my x2 and this as my y2. Always make sure without put that time waste करने दो laziness फलाने दो लामाई. Please make sure you mark this. Don't be stupid enough to no everything is in my head. No, if you are kind of an arapati satanam lamai one then it's very difficult to score marks. So don't take that overconfidence into your brain lamai. Matta overconfidence matta okkoma garanda buluwan kiyala. Mark kara palla pandita vende. So here make sure you got that m. Write the equation what I'm going to use. It is y2. I'm using y1. y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Right. I have used this. Look at the board. y1. What is the value of y1? 4. I'm writing 4. Then I have a minus. Along with that minus, this minus is in the equation. The value of y2 is what? Minus 2. When I'm writing 2 minus, always make sure you apply the bracket. Bracket take apply that. Now when you are writing x1, what is the value of x1? Minus 2. Minus, what is the value of x2? Sorry, x1 and x2 is 1. I'm writing 1. Look at the board. Minus into minus, I'm opening up the bracket. Minus into minus, what is the answer? Plus. So I'm getting plus 2 here. Minus 1 minus 2, what is the answer? Minus 3 is my answer. Directed numbers. You have been learning this in your grade 8. Hurry. 4 plus 2, that is 6, divided by minus 3. 3 times 1 and 3 times 2. Answer is 2. Plus into minus, what is the answer? Minus. So your gradient is going to be m is equals to minus 2 is my answer. Is that clear how to get this answer? Give me a thumbs up. Yes. All good. Okay, fine. Please be careful when you apply the minus symbol. Minus symbol mara parisming involved. Minus into minus is plus. Minus 2 minus 1. Same symbol are getting. There is an operation in the sense that is always plus. I add it and write minus 3. Hi.
Sir, I didn't understand this.
Yes, all good. Let me explain it again. Lamya, your first thing is what? Take both the coordinates. You took both the coordinates out there. So you took both the coordinates. Then you mark what? x1 and y1, x2 and y2. You have marked it already. Now what is the gradient equation you have taken? y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Now still I have not started until this series is here. Now what you are doing? You are going to substitute the value of y1. What is the value of y1? y1 is 4. I substitute that. In the equation I have a minus. I bring it there. What is the value of y2? y2 is equal to minus 2. So when I have two same symbols, what I do is I apply a bracket and write. So 4 minus minus 2. I'm done with that. I'm coming to the x. Now what is the value of x1? x1 is minus 2. I'm writing minus 2. Then I'm coming to what? Minus. I'm writing the minus. What is the value of x2? x2 is equal to 1. I'm writing that 1. Now here it was plus 1. I don't want to consider plus, so I wrote it as plus 1. Methana, minus into minus, what is the answer? Plus. So, plus 2 is here. 4 plus 2. That will give me 6. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 1. Directed numbers. Look at the board. Plus 1, plus 2. Answer is plus 3. 2 minus 1 from the larger number. I subtract the smaller number. Answer is 1. I put the sign of the larger number. That is plus 1. Answer is plus 1. 1 minus 2. Again the same scenario. Take the larger number. Subtract from the smaller number. 2 minus 1 is what? 1. What is the sign of the largest number? Minus. I put the answer as minus 1. Minus 1 minus 2. As I have the same symbol, I edit and write the symbol minus. So this is what is directed numbers. Summary of the directed numbers is here. So what I do? Minus 2 minus 1. Answer is what? Minus 3. Now I know 6 over 3 in the sense 3 times 1 and 3 times 2. I write 2 here. Plus into minus, answer is minus. Your gradient is equal to minus 2. Is that clear? Shukra?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Shukra.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Wait,
Sir,
we take
excuse me.
y2 minus y1,
Please,
it's changing the answer,
please,
sir.
yeah, okay. Please copy this down. Shakura, please mute yourself.
So
Wait,
excuse
we
me,
take
if we take both the, in both the equations, the gradient will be the same, right?
Both the equation, the gradient will be the same, right? I didn't get you. I didn't get you. What do you mean by that? Both the
When we apply both the equations you gave, like y minus 2, y minus 1 over x2 minus x1, and if we use like y1 minus
you mean if I use y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1, will I get the same answer?
yeah.
Yeah, you will be getting the same answer. Shall I do it?
Of course.
but if the
Yes.
answer is changing.
Give me. Okay, well, m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Look at the board. y2, what is the value of y2? Minus 2. What is the value of y1? Minus 4. Minus 2 minus 4. What is the value of x2? x2 is 1. What is the value of x1? Minus 2. Look at the board. Now I need to simplify. Minus 2 minus 4 answer is what? Minus 6. Minus into minus, what is the answer? Plus. So 1 plus 2, what is the answer? Minus 6 over 3. 3 times 1, 3 times 2. My answer is 2. Plus into minus, what is the answer? Minus 2. I got the same answer.
Sir,
Yes.
you have marked in the coordinations, you have marked like minus 2 as x1, right?
Minus 2 as x1. Yes.
Yeah, if I mark it like it as x2 and 4 is y2, will it change my answer? Like any impact on the answer?
Again, can you repeat? I didn't understand.
Like in the coordinates you have mentioned above, you have marked as x, like minus 2 as
You
x1,
mean
right?
if I change this as my x2, y2, and this as 1 and 1. Is that so?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be getting the same answer. Again, you'll be getting the same answer.
Okay.
No worries. No need to like which one I should take as x1, y1. No worries on that. You can take anything as your x1, but remember, if you take this as your x2, this should be your y2. You can't take this as your x2 and this as your y1. Then it is wrong. Whatever you take, if you give the number 2 for this, both should be 2. Number 1 for this, both should be 2.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Moving to the next one. We have much more to do. Even though it is 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, I'll leave you after that. Right. So, we are done with that. We know how to find out the gradient now. Now we are coming into what? Finding the equation. Now I said to you, equation was given and they asked me the gradient and intercept. Now, they are going to give you the certain things and ask you what is the equation. Now, one type of question is, they will give you the intercept. Intercept will be given. 2 coordinates won't be given. 1 coordinate will be given. x and y will be given, and they will ask you to find out the equation of the graph y equal mx plus c. Now look at the board. This is one way of asking a question. C will be given. One coordinate will be given. Now you will be like, sir, I can find out the gradient when I have two coordinates. No, sir. How can I find out the gradient if I have only one coordinate? That is going to be the challenge now. Look at the board very carefully. Now, when I look at the example number 1, turn to page number 50. There is a heading called finding the equation of the straight line when the intercept and the coordinates are given. Now, they have given a question there. The intercept of the straight line graph is plus 3. And the coordinate of a point of the graph is 2, 7 itself. They are asking me to find out the equation of the graph. Now, how will I find out the equation of this graph? Look at the board. Now, to find the equation of the graph, surely I need two things. What are the two things? I need my gradient, I need the intercept. But in this question, already I know the intercept. The problem is what? Gradient is unknown for me. I need to find the gradient. Now the next problem is, according to what we studied until now, to find out the gradient, actually I need two coordinates. No? In only you can apply y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. එහෙම මොන හරි ලියලා gradient එක හොයාගෙන gradient එක හොයාගෙන then you can write the equation of the graph. Now the problem is one coordinate is given. I can't get another coordinate. Other coordinate I can't guess and take me lemon. Question එකේ දීලා දෙන්නේ මෙච්චරයි. Listen to me very well. For these type of question, what you do is C is equals to plus 3, 2 and 7 here. Now what are you going to do is, you are going to write the general equation. What is general equation? Y equal mx plus c. How many terms do I have in this equation? How many terms do I have in this equation? 4 terms. What are my 4 terms? Y is 1 term for me. M is 1 term for me. X is 1 term for me. C is 1 term for me. I know Y. Value of Y. What is value of Y? Y is equals to 7. I know the value of M. Sorry, I don't know the value of M. 1 is unknown. This should be found out. Question mark. I know the value of X. What is the value of X? 2 is the value of X. I know this. I know the value of C. C is equals to 3. I'm going to substitute this in the equation and find out the value of M. Now see, there is another way of finding out the M. What is the way? When I know 2 coordinates, I can find out M using the equation. Now, when you know C and when you know the intercept and when you know one coordinate, you can make sure you find the value of M also. So finding out M has 2 methods. One using this, one using the previous one. Now I'm going to substitute. 7 is equals to mx and m multiplied by x m into 2 plus 3. M into 2, what is the answer? 2m is the answer. Plus 3 is here, 7 is here. I'm bringing 3 to this side. Plus 3 comes to this side and becomes minus 3. Minus 3 here. On the other side, I have 2m. I'm flipping this. Flipping this in the sense I'm writing 2m first. 2m is equals to 7 minus 3. What is the answer? 4 is my answer. Divide by 2 and divide by 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. 2 times 1 and 2 times 2. M is equals to how much? 2 is my answer. Now I found out the answer for M. Now to find out the equation of the graph, 2 things only I need to know. What are the values? C, already I know. M, I found out. Now you can write the equation of the graph. Y equal mx, right? What is the value of M? 2x plus what is the value of C? 3. This is what is the equation of your graph. What is the equation of your graph? Y equal 2x plus 3 is the equation of your graph. Is that clear, Lamai? Yeah. Is that clear? Yes. Okay, fine. Can you guys quickly copy this down? I'll give you 1 minute. Quickly copy this down in the space that is given in the tute. I'm so sorry, Lamai. There are another 25 students who want to join the session, but they couldn't join because the capacity is full. So next time we'll make sure when the seminars are conducted, we have a Zoom account which can accommodate around more than 100. So this time, so sorry, at the last moment I cannot shift the Zoom. Actually, we have a Zoom. This is on one of a Zoom which we got it. Next time we will be using the next Zoom account so that we can accommodate more. But don't worry, the same video will be uploaded in the YouTube channel so that you can watch it and make sure you cover up all the missed calls. Alright, 30 seconds more. The easiest lesson, I will simplify it in a way that you will understand the most. Lamai, give me around 10 minutes. 11 වෙනකොට මම මේක ඉවර කරනවා. ලස්සනට පැහැදිලිව මේක ඉවර කරලා දාන්න. Good. හරි. Moving down to the next one. Now we saw how to find out the equation of the graph when what are given, intercept and one coordinate is given. One coordinate and the intercept is given. Now we are going to find out the equation of the graph when only two coordinates are given. What is the problem now? Now two coordinates are given to you. What are the coordinates? 1, 7 is given. 3, 15 is given. Now this is becoming difficult. Why? To write an equation of the graph, I need two things, C and M. In the previous one they give, one I need to find out. Now here, both of them are not given. But two equations are given, so two coordinates are given to me and they are asking me to find out the equation of the graph. To find out the equation of the graph, surely I need to find out the value of M. I need to find the value of C. Now you can't take the equation y equal mx plus c and substitute the value of x and y and get the answer. Why you can't get the answer? Because you have two unknown things. When you have two unknown things, we studied last week. What is that equation? Simultaneous equation. It should be a simple equation. It cannot be a simultaneous equation. Problem. Then now I know with experience, when two coordinates are given, how will I find out the gradient? Applying the equation. Yes or no? Apply the equation. M is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Apply the equation. Get the answer. Now before you apply, write the coordinates here. This is my y2, this is my x2, this is my x1 and this is my y. Now applying, y2 is equal to how much? 15 minus y1 is equal to how much? 7. x2 is equal to how much? 3 minus x1 is equal to how much? 1. 15 minus 7. What is the answer? 8 is my answer. 3 minus 1. What is the answer? 2 is my answer. 8 divided by 2. What is the answer? 4 is my answer. I found out M is equal to 4. I found out this guy. M is equal to 4. Now I need to find out this guy. C. So how will I find out C? Very simple. Take any of the coordinate. I repeat again. Take any of one coordinate. You have two coordinates. As per your wish, you can take this, or as per your wish, you can take this. I'm taking this because this has a little bit smaller values. Okay. I took the value as what? 1, 7 as one coordinate. I know the value of m. M is equals to 4. Now I'm going to simplify in this equation. What is the value of y? Y is equals to 7. M is equals to 4. X is equals to 1 plus C. 4 into 1 is 4. 4 comes to this side and becomes minus 4. 7 minus 4 is equals to C. C is equals to 7 minus 4. What is the answer? 3 is my answer. Now I found out this guy also. This guy is value based how much? 3. Now can't I write the equation of the graph? Yes, I can write. Y equal M is how much? 4x. What is the value of C? Plus 3. This is what is my equation. I can grant you the full marks for this. Is that clear how to do this, Lamai? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up. Super. Quickly copy this down.
Value of y as 15 also.
Hana, yes, Hana. What is the thing?
Can we take the value of y as 15 also?
3 and 15 also you can take. No, it's like this. If you are using this value for x, you need to take this value for y. You can't use 1 for x and 15 for y. You need to choose only one coordinate. If you are choosing this, you need to choose x and y here. If you are choosing this, you need to take x and y here. You can't take x value from here and y value from here. Only one coordinate should be used. Is that clear, Hana?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all good. We are done with the main theory. Now we are coming into the graph. Straight line graph is done. Actually. Please write this. I'll give you another 1 minute. Also fully tired today. Doing classes since 6 o'clock today. All right. Okay. Am I? Please take a deep breath. Now we are going to start off one of the most complicated theories. We are gonna make sure we are gonna master up best and මේක ලේසි තමයි ළමයි හැබැයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන් ඉගෙනගෙන හැටි. There is a way of studying is the most important. When you study this in an interesting, when you study this in the easiest way ළමයි මේක මාර ලේසි දෙයක් තමයි මේක. So what I always say is ළමයි, please make sure මං කියන්නේ those who are in the bedroom, it's time for you now at least to come to the study table, open your book up, And please make sure you're writing the notes now. What we are going to study now is going to help you a lot on the coming up exams. Please make sure you take a deep breath. If you have some water, drink the water. I'll give you 2 minutes. Get ready. We are going to study one of the most important theories for the next 25 to 30 minutes of time. I'll give you 2 minutes. Try to relax a little bit. Starting off the theory. Hari. Then balagan, handra balagan. Amari. Now your straight line graph is gonna shift for a new dimension. That means all these time you are learning what y equal mx plus c. That means the power of the x that you had is 1. As the power was 1, your graph was a straight line graph like this, straight line like this, like this, like this. Straight line graph, so I think. Then you are going to study an equation y equal ax squared or y equal ax squared plus b. Now, what is the difference between this? I hope the top part is not clear. No? Now you are going to study y equal ax squared or y equal ax squared plus b. So what is this? Then Balana. On the previous one, I had y equal mx. I had x. X is a straight line. Now this has become x squared. As it has become x squared, you're gonna study a graph which is gonna take a dimension like this. It's gonna be a curve graph. It's gonna look like this, or it's gonna look like this. What you're gonna study in grade 10 is this. What you're gonna study in grade 11 is this parabola graph will be shifting here and there. You'll be studying a graph going like this, or you're studying a graph going like this. So the graph will shift here and there. We don't want that. We don't want how are grade 11 you'll be studying the grade 11 graph. In another 2 weeks of time, that give us again. Then at the grade 10 graph, you can thorough because O-level graph O-level graph actually 16 I can go for higher percentage. 75% is grade 10. Rest of the 25% only comes to grade 11. So, first of all, you need to be thorough enough in this. Thorough enough when I come to so, I So let's make sure we are getting a little bit thorough enough in this. Then first thing, the nature of the graph. What is the first thing? Nature of the graph. Now, when you are in Colombo, how is the nature? When you are in Colombo, nature is very cruel. Why nature is very cruel? It's very hot. Everywhere you go, this kind of nature is no sceneries at all. Every time we need to see uncles tatte and everything out there. ඔක්කොම ඉන්නේ බර බර ගාගෙන ඔක්කොම කොළඹ ඉන්න අය ඔක්කොම එහෙම. But how is the nature in Nuwara? Very beautiful, peace of mind. හරි. එතකොට ළමයි මෙතන තියෙන nature එක ඒක නෙමෙයි තියෙන nature. මෙතන තියෙන nature එක කියන්නේ ළමයි what I'm going to come to say as nature here is the nature of the graph. So what is, how can I define the nature of the graph? Is it sunny or මේ මොකද්ද rainy මොකද්ද එහෙම මොන හරි තියෙනවද? එහෙම මොකුත් නැහැ. මට natures දෙකයි තියෙන්නේ. One nature is called as your minimum nature. One is called as your maximum nature. I have only two natures. What are the two natures? One is a minimum nature and one is a maximum nature. So what do you mean by minimum nature? Now when I draw a graph, now let's say I'm drawing a parabola graph. When I draw a parabola graph, if my graph is coming and touching a minimum point and going up, always I start off a graph from what side? My left hand side, your left hand side also. Or the left hand side again. When you are facing this side, this is your left hand side. Always start off your graph from your left hand side. What's happening? You are coming from a top, touching the bottom part of your life, minimum part of your life, and raising back again. Like this is how your life growth should be. Minimum graph is like life growth. You need to be on the you touch the minimum point and bounce back again and come up in your life. This is what is called as your minimum graph, where you touch a minimum point and come back again. What do you mean by a maximum graph? Maximum graph can mean you go touch a higher position and then come down back in life. This shouldn't happen in your life. You are going and touching back. You are at the minimum stage. You are going and touching the higher space of your life and coming back down to the same pace. This shouldn't be the growth of your life. This is a temporary growth there. So make education, education. If you are not educated, this should be your growth for sure. You'll go, one day you touch up the highest position. Sometimes you will come, sometimes you will come back. It's always never. It shouldn't happen also. For anyone, you will come down for sure. එතකොට මේක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න. මේකත් එක්ක මම එකක් කියන්න ඕනේ ළමයි. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ලයිෆ් එකේ ළමයි හැමදාම මතක තියාගන්න. This general advice I'm giving to everyone. ඔයාට ඔක්කොම තියෙනවා කියලා අනිත් උන්ට පෙන්නන්නත් එපා. ලොකු පම්පෝරේ ගන්නත් එපා. I have this thing, I have that thing, I have this, I have that, do you have this? කියලා අනිත් උන්ව වට්ටන්න ඔයා වැඩ කරනවා නම් ළමයි. අනිවාර්යෙන් දවසක් ඔයා අනිවාර්යෙන්ම වැඩේ. Sure, this is sure. So always make sure I should grow. With me, everyone should grow. Because there is a body ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා when it comes to all the students. කොයි හරි ඔයගොල්ලන් classes යනවා නම් හොඳ class එකක් යනවා නම් if you know out a good teacher or if you know out a good location or if you have good books with you, sometimes you will go to Sarasavi or somewhere මෙහෙ ගිහිල්ලා I don't understand Sinhala. Okay, fine. I'll talk in English itself. So I'm a mix of Sinhala, English and Tamil. I usually don't use Tamil because there are with these Sinhala people out there. So I don't use it. If you want, I can use. No. So your friend in Tamil class. Yeah, same thing. Okay. So you guys know the story in physical now. Product monkey and class So ළමයා උගලන්නගේ books මොන හරි දීපනම් මොන හරි තිම්පනම් ළමයි උගලන් share කරන්න කැමති නෑ. ඇයි කැමති නැත්තේ? Those guy will score good. Now my rank will go down when this guy comes on. This is mostly there in girls. Girls ළඟ තියෙනවා දැන් boys with girls වගේනේ දැන් ඌල ළඟත් දැන් තියෙනවා. දැන් පොඩ්ඩක් hormonal changes වෙනවනේ when Gen Z is coming on. Gen Z is so good. But I'm saying මොකක්ද මේ සමහරුන් ඉන්නවා 50% of Gen Z is like hormonal changes ටිකක් තියෙනවා. පොඩි කෙල්ලෝ ගතියක් පෙන්නනවා. ඒගොල්ලන් ළඟත් මේකක් තියෙනවා ළමයි කියලා වැඩක් නැහැ. So මෙහෙම life එකේ ඉන්න එපා කවදාවත්. ඔයගොල්ලන් ළඟ තියෙන resources ටික share කරන්න. පුළුවන් තරම් share කරන්න. Share කරන්න when you are growing up someone else ළමයි that will make sure you are also doing it. So please keep that in your head and again come back to the list. Now I'm coming to a bottom. I'm touching up a minimum point and coming back up. This nature of the graph is called as what graph? Minimum graph. When I go touch out the peak, come back down, I call that graph as what graph? Maximum graph. Now let's do podi that graph. I'm drawing a graph. You should react. Heart take up react randone if it's a minimum graph. React any of your emoji out there if it's a maximum graph. Okay, then man graph where cutting there. What is this graph? What is this graph? පිස්සු අමාරුන් මේකත් දාන්න ඉමෝජි ඕන කමට දාන්න එක්කෙනෙක් දෙන්න කියන්නේ ඔය කාස් අවුට් කිරිනියන් ලීගිනේ දැන් ඕන වෙන කොට නේද කිරිනි පාපේ වෙනන්ද කිරිනි as a participant otherwise also I can find out who that even அந்த கிருமி ஷாஹித் நீ கிருமி தாண்டா நீ தெரிந்த மாட்டாய் நீ அப்படியே இப்ப மட்டும் அவுட் Sorry. Okay, fine. Now I'm drawing another one. What is this graph? So now you understood what is the nature of the graph. So first thing is what? We found out what is the nature of the graph. Then balan. Now I'm asking you, y equal 4x squared. Y equal minus 4x squared. Find the nature of the graph. Find the nature. Sir, you are drawing the graph, sir. You haven't drawn the graph and you are asking to find out the nature of the graph. Very difficult. Remember, there is a shortcut to find out the nature of the graph. If the coefficient of x square, I'm talking about whom? The coefficient of x square. Now, what is the coefficient of x square here? 4. What is the coefficient of x square here? Minus 4. So I'm taking coefficient of x squared is 4 here and coefficient of x squared is minus 4 here. Remember, Lamani, if the coefficient is positive, that is a minimum graph. If the coefficient is negative, that is a maximum graph. What is the theory? Even the graph is not drawn. Now, if the graph is drawn, you can look into the graph and let you. This graph is minimum graph. This graph is maximum graph. But if the equation of the graph is given, you can find out, right? Now I have given a solution for you. What is the solution? If the coefficient of x squared is positive, that is a minimum graph. If the coefficient of x squared is negative, that is what graph? Maximum graph. Now looking at this, is this graph a minimum graph or maximum graph? If it's minimum, it should be a heart. If it's maximum, it should be something else. And so the coefficient is plus. If the coefficient is positive, that is a minimum graph. So I can say this graph is what graph? Minimum graph. If the coefficient is negative, I call that graph as what graph? Maximum graph. Is that clear? Amai? Give me a thumbs up. Is that clear? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, all good. Now coming to another question. Y equal 4x squared plus 3. Y equal minus 3x squared plus 2. Y equal 2x squared plus 4. Y equal minus 2x squared minus 3. Can I know what is the nature of this graph? If it's minimum, that should be a heart. If it's a maximum, it should be an emoji. This is a minimum graph. You guys confirm that is a minimum graph. Yes, it is correct. What about this graph? What about this graph? And now you guys confirm that this is a maximum graph. Why it is a minimum graph? The coefficient is positive. Why it is a maximum graph? The coefficient is negative. Coming into this graph is a minimum or a maximum? It's a minimum graph. This graph is what graph? A maximum graph. Yes, Lama, you have understood the first theory. The first theory is the nature of the graph. We are done. So I have given the short notes. I have given the short note. Here I have given the nature of the graph in the tute I have given. So if it's positive, it is minimum. Negative, it is maximum. So I have given the short. Now I'm going to teach you another. Now listen to me very carefully. This is one of the mistakes that every one of you guys leave this in the exam dates. මං කියනවා මෙතන මට graph එකක් මෙහෙම යනවා. Now this point, now I'm asking you, this graph is taking a U-turn. Actually the graph is taking a U-turn at which point? Graph is taking a U-turn at this point. That means the graph is actually turning. The life of someone is turning. Coming and hitting the minimum point and they are pumping up again and going up. That means their turning point of the life is here. So I call this as my turning point. Turning point. And I can call this as my coordinate of the turning point. Now look at the board very carefully. This is going to be the most important thing. Look at the board very carefully. So I can call this as, I said what? You can call this as the coordinate of the turning point and you can call this as your turning point. But remember, both of these are two different things. Now if I ask you, what is the coordinate of this point? You will say what? It is 0, 0. Why? It is x-axis at 0. Y-axis at 0 කියන්ට ළමයි මෙතන 0, 0 තමයි. වෙන මොකුත් නැහැ මට. එතකොට ළමයි, if they ask you the turning point, your answer should be 0. That's all. Answer should be 0. But if they ask you the coordinate. What do we mean by coordinate? It is the x comma y value, right? If they ask you the value of the coordinate, your answer should be 0, 0. If they just ask you the turning point, the answer should be 0. If they ask you the coordinate of the turning point, your answer should be 0, 0. Now I'm coming to another example to make sure you guys are getting it clear. Then Balagan. What a graph. This graph is going up and coming down. Now, as this is a maximum graph, I call this point as my maximum point. Now, I'm asking you two questions. Now, I'm giving you this value here is 4 plus 4. Now, I'm asking the first question. What is the maximum point, value of the maximum point of the graph? Or else you can call this as your turning point. Now, see, there are two different terms. I can call it as my turning point. Turning point is the common thing. I call this as my maximum point, but I can't call this as my minimum point. Why minimum point? This is not a minimum graph. This is a maximum graph. Maximum graph will have a maximum point. That means a minimum graph will have what point? Anyone?
Turning point.
Say? Turning point. Minimum graph will have what point? Maximum graph is having a maximum point. Minimum graph will have
Minimum point.
what point?
Minimum
point. Yes, you are correct. So a maximum graph only can have a maximum point and minimum graph can have a minimum point. But for both of the graph, I can give a common term. What is that? Turning point. For this also turning point applies. For that also turning point applies. Fine. Now I'm asking you, what is the maximum point or what is the turning point? What should be your answer?
4.
4 is your answer. Second one I'm asking, what is the coordinate of the turning point? TP, turning point.
0, 4, 0, 4.
0, 4. Why 0? 0, 4. Why 0, 4? Balan. Y-axis and this is x-axis. Ramya, have I moved anywhere? I wanted the coordinate of this point. Have this point moved anywhere in the x direction? No, it has not moved in the x direction. That means x value is what? 0. What is the y value? It has gone up and it is here. 4 is my answer. So remember, if they give the word coordinate, you should write the coordinate. If they are asking the value, you should write on the value. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All good. Okay, fine. Now we are moving now to the seventh. The Balan, I have given that short note here. Short note. So here I have given another short note also how to write the coordinates of the word. Now, when a graph is given, you will find out the turning point. Yes or no? Now let's say, if a graph is given like this is -3. What is the turning point of the graph? -3 is the graph. If the visual diagram is given, it's okay to find. But I'm just saying, let's say an equation is given to you, y equal 2x squared -3. Now I'm asking you, what is the minimum point of this graph? I can't be drawing this graph and finding out the answer. I have limited amount of time. Looking at the equation itself, I need to say what is the minimum point and I need to say what is the coordinate of the minimum point also. Ramai, listen to me very carefully. Before you come into this, you can find out the nature of the graph. What is the nature of the graph? Is it a heart or an emoji? What is the nature of the graph? Is it a heart or an emoji? What do we mean by heart? That is a minimum graph. Yes, you guys are correct. You guys gave me a heart. So you are saying what is a minimum graph? This is a minimum graph. I found out the nature before I find out the turning point. Minimum graph will have what point? Minimum point. And I'm going to find out the coordinate of the minimum point. Coordinate of the minimum point. Hold on, my board about you now. Coordinate of the minimum point. Hi, point again. Then, this equation will have a constant value there. No? Like in the equation y equal mx plus c. This is the point where it cuts the y-axis. There is a constant term here, right? That should be your minimum value. Or that should be your maximum value. According to this graph, this is a minimum graph. As this is a minimum graph, now don't give Abdullah Jareen, how the Portugal, Spain, the flags din ba? Minimum graph. This is a minimum graph. Brazil flag is coming on. Shide, it's very easy for me to go there. Click it. Kauda denne. Umar Sultan, get out of the class. Put for the waiting room. Penakaw flag denne. Then ako flag stick ang mambala mo. Then ako kauda flag giyak. Zahran. Pulupudani. Allah kawal. Okay. Fine. You have the minimum point, you have the coordinate of the minimum point. Okay. Shahid, you also please get out of the class. Shahid Junior. In the waiting room. Oh. Hari. Minimum point and you have the coordinate of the minimum point. Now, you have minus 3 here. Minus 3. 2x squared minus 3. Now what I'm doing, this value is the minimum point of mine. So I'm writing minus 3. If I wanted to write the coordinate of the minimum point, coordinate there should be x comma y value, right? Lamai, as your grade 10 lamai, as deka wahage na liyan. Put the value 0. Any questions that you get, never mind. Put 0 for x. Write your minimum points value in by minus 3. This is what is the coordinate of your turning point. Minus 3 is the minimum point. Coordinate of the minimum point, what is that? X is 0 and y is minus 3. Now coming into another one. Y equal minus 2x squared plus 4. Is this graph a minimum or a maximum graph? Is this graph minimum or a maximum graph? Yes, you gave me the correct emoji. You guys gave me what? One person gave me. All of you guys are giving the correct answer. One person give me the wrong answer. What is that? You gave me a heart reaction. If the coefficient of x squared is negative, that should be a maximum graph. This is a maximum graph. This is a maxi graph. This is a maxi graph. So, Lamai, I will have what point? A maximum point, and I will have a coordinate of maximum point. Coordinate of maximum point. What is my maximum point? Is it -2 or 4? If it's -2, give me a heart reaction. If it's +4, give me an emoji. And now you got the emoji. So this constant value should be the maximum point. So +4 is here. How will you write the coordinate? Coordinate is always x comma y value. X is 0 and y is what? 4. Your coordinate of the point is 0 comma 4 is my answer. So Lamai, I can roughly draw this diagram. How can I draw this? I can just draw this. I know this is a maximum graph. Maximum graph will go and touch the top neck. I will draw it like this. And the point where the graph is cutting is what? +4. This is the rough diagram of the graph. How will I draw a rough diagram for this? This graph. This is a minimum graph. I know the graph will come and touch the bottom of the line. Minimum point is -3. I will mark this as -3. Now see how simple stuffs are. Make the question exam question. I'm teaching you. I know everyone can draw the graph. Everyone will perfectly draw the graph. Now I'm teaching you for the Roman number 3, Roman number 4, and Roman number 5. These are Roman number 3, Roman number 4, and Roman number 5. I don't want you guys to how to draw the graph. This is how you need to draw. Coordinate mark with time you will understand that also. Sure. But the problem is with the theory. The theory perfect. We are done with that. Hi. That short note is given here. Short note. So see how many short notes are there? One. Then you have the second one. Then you have the third one. We are done with 3 theories. Now we are going to the 4th theory. What is the 4th theory? The easiest theory. The roots of the graph. Now look at the board. Roots of the graph. Now, obviously, even though it is a minimum graph or a maximum graph, the graph will surely cut 2 points in my x-axis. This graph will surely cut 2 points in my x-axis. This is 1 point for me, point number 1. This is 1 point for me. This is point number 2. So give a break. Abdullah Jareen, time is 10:30. 11 half an hour. The half an hour of time. Please, Lam. Please. I know, Lam, it's difficult. 2.5 hours. Because if I give a break, no one is gonna. They are gonna lose the momentum. Momentum is gonna be lost. So I don't want this momentum to be lost. I wanted you guys to make sure. Make a hurried over the half an hour. Half an hour, I won't drag the class above 11 o'clock. I said in the theory class, physical class, I said, but I'll be dragging the class until 11:30, 12 o'clock. But I know I'm tired, more than you guys are tired. So I can't go above 11 o'clock. So before 11, surely I can. Sir, can I know where you are planning to do in seminars? We'll answer all those questions. If you have any concern, please drop me a message for this number. This is my number 07705820059. Drop me a message for this number. I will clear off all your concerns and everything. This is my number. Please make sure you're messaging this. I think I have not attached the number of the tute. Tute again a number. Fine. Now, coming into the roots of the graph. Look at the root. What I mean by roots? Roots. My roots are the points. Again, I repeat. Roots are the point where the graph will cut the x-axis. Now, gradient intercept which will cut the y-axis, that is in straight line. When it comes to roots are the 2 points. 2 points, that means values where the graph will cut which axis? X-axis. Example, I'll make sure you are clear with this. Balan. I'm saying this value here, the graph is cutting is -2. This value is +2. Now, if they ask you, now let's say you have drawn the graph. In the graph paper, you have drawn the graph. You're getting the answer as -2 and +2. If they ask you, what is the roots of the graph? What is the roots of the graph? You will be like, roots of the graph is +2 and -2. +2 and -2. Now let's say I'm drawing another graph. In that graph which I'm drawing, the value here is 1.3 minus 1.3 and the value here is 1.4 plus 1.4. Now according to what you are drawing. Now the roots of the red color graph is going to be -1.3 and plus 1.4. This is my roots. Always remember, roots should be always whole number given. Roots can be decimal answers also. So what is the point where the graph is cutting the x-axis? 2 values there is called as your roots. Now there are a few questions they will ask like this. Look at the book. They will give you a graph. මෙතන තමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහුවෙන්නේ. මෙතන නිකන් ට්‍රැක් පයින්නවා. ඔයාලා ට්‍රැක් පයින්නේ මෙතන. -2, this is +2. They are asking, බලන්න හොඳට බලා ගන්න. Find the values of x where y is equals to 0. You'll be like, sir, didn't teach me this theory. No. Sir didn't teach me all the possible things. I'm teaching it here. Sir didn't teach me this theory. Where is y0, y0, y0? මුකද්ද මේ කියලා උලම් හිතනවා. ඔළුව කඩාගෙන හිටන. උදේම හිතලා බලන්න. Where will be the y equal to 0? තමයි බලන්න. මම නිකන් coordinate එකක් ගන්නවා. Let's say this place is 1 here. I need to write the coordinate of this point. How will I write the coordinate of this point? I know obviously it is x comma y. On the x direction, I have moved one unit. Have I moved in the y direction? No. That means it is 1, 0. That means any point that I will be taking in the x-axis, any point, what will be the value of y? Y will be equal to 0. Any point that I will be taking in x-axis, y will be equal to 0. Any point that I will be taking in y-axis, x will be equal to 0. Why have I not moved in the x direction? Now in this question they are asking about y. Y is equal to 0 on this graph where? At this point where the graph is cutting and this point. That means actually this is another way of asking what? Roots. If they ask you roots, you will directly write. What are your roots here? -2 and +2. For the red one, it is +1.4 and -1.4. You directly wrote it when the word roots is given. But you will stumble a little bit. You will panic when this is asked. This is another way of asking the root. So what is the way of asking the root? Find the value of x where the y is equals to 0. When they give y is equals to 0, they are asking about what? Roots. They have been talking about this. So those who have the tute, please turn to this roots of the graph and write a note here. Page number 54. Turn to page number 54 and write a note somewhere on the top or bottom. Write it. You have another two theories. ඒකත් එක්ක ඉවරයි. හරි ආදිල් මම මේක ක්ලියර් කරන්නම් පොඩ්ඩක් බුටි වෙලාවක් දෙන්න මට. මම මේක ක්ලියර් කරනවා. ඔයාලා ලස්සනට මම before you leave the class you will be clear with this. Write a note there. Write a note there. At the point of root, at the point of roots, 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 the value of y, the value of y, the value of y is always equal to 0. Is always equal to 0. Is always equal to 0. Sugar. Banana. Quality stuffs. Hi. Okay, is that clear, everyone? Give me a thumbs up. Super, super. Okay, Adil. Okay, Adil Sharif. Hari. Yes, Fatima Iftikhar. Sir, kila dala dina. Fatima. Yes, Fatima. Sorry, the voting. Sir, yes, drop me a message. What is the problem? Wagi chat kita mangin ni then. Fatima, yanna Fatima. Sir, kila dala dina. Yes. Yanna. Salagin inne. Abdullah Jarine තූක්කමන් තකන්නේ. හරි බලන්න එකද බෝඩ් හරි ආදිල් ශරීෆ් හොඳ බලන්න ළමයා what is roots clear ඒක clear what is roots is that clear give me a thumbs up yes ඒක sure okay what is roots හරි minimum value coming එකමක් Fatima, I'll clear it off. Don't worry.
The screen.
Yes, okay. Give me 2 minutes. Hold on a minute. Adil, there is another way of asking a root. Now I said, but there are two things. They can ask as maximum point and they can generally say it as turning point. Yes or no? Turning point. There is two ways of asking it. Yes or no? Yes. Likewise, they can ask you the roots in a different way, saying that write the values of x when y is equals to 0. Then for this also the answer should be what? The roots of the equation, that is minus 2 and plus 2. Is that clear? Adile, thumbs up on the thumbs up on the yes, all good. But anyway, දැන් එනවා ළමයි වැදගත් තියරි එක. හොඳටම වැදගත් තියරි. බලා ගන්න. ඉතින් ඒනොඩ කොළුප්පු දාගෙන යනවා. පොඩ්ඩක් කොළුප්පු ළමයි. හරියා? පොඩි ප්‍රශ්න ටිකක් තියෙනවා මූල. දැන් කියමු there is a graph like this. There is a graph like this. Where the minimum point of the graph is -3. The equation of the graph is what? Y equal 2x squared minus 3. This is what is the equation of the graph. Correct? No. This is a minimum graph. This is also a minimum graph. Fatima Balanna. This is a minimum graph. Why it is a minimum graph? Coefficient of x squared is positive in the sense it's a minimum graph. Yes, correct. The coefficient here is what? -3. So the minimum value is also what? -3. Now they are asking you another question. What is the new equation of the graph? This is the old equation, already given the equation. They are asking the new equation of the graph if this graph is shifted. They are going to shift this graph. They are going to shift it up or shift it down. I don't know, according to the question. Now they are going to shift the graph. They are going to shift the graph one unit upwards. 1 unit upwards. That means from -3, they are going to carry this graph and keep it at -2. Shall I draw a rough diagram? They are going to keep the graph like this. Now they are asking you, what is the new equation of the graph? Now what did I say? Again, recap. The value here will be what? The turning points value. Yes or no? As it is -3 here, for the white color graph, the turning point is -3. හොඳට හිතා ගන්න. පොඩ්ඩක් හිතන්න. හිතන්න නැතුව ඔළුවට යන්න. Now, if the graph is shifted 1 unit upwards, what is the new turning point for me? It is -2, right? Now, I'm going to write the equation very easy. Now I know the turning point is -2. Nothing is going to change for this. So I'm writing y equal 2x squared. If I shift it 1 unit upwards, 1 unit upwards here needs it is a -2. So I'm writing the answer as -2. This is what is my new equation for that. Is that clear? How did I get this? Yes or no?
Yes,
Give me a
sir.
thumbs up.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fine. Now coming into another new one. බලන්න. තව එකක් කරන්න. Now they have given, this is what is my graph, where this is +5. +5. Now they have given the equation here is what? Y equal -x squared +5. Now they are asking the new equation. If the graph is shifted 2 units downwards. 2 units downwards. It's +4, it's +3, it's +2, it's +1. 2 units downwards in the sense what? I'm taking this graph.
+3.
I'm keeping it at +4. 1 unit is that. I'm keeping another unit down. That means that is going to come at what? +3 like this. Now what is my new turning point? +3. So I'm going to write the new equation. Nothing is going to change here. The same thing is going to come. But the turning point is going to change. What is the turning point? +3 is my turning point. So my new equation of the graph is what? Y equal -x squared +3. Is that clear? Give me a thumbs up now. Fatima, is that clear? Fatima Iftikhar? Yes, කියලා chat box එකේ දාන්න. Chat box එකේ. Yes, කියලා. Fatima, waiting for you. Great. Superb, Lamia. Then I think I have answered your questions. Okay. Now coming to the last theory. Hari, the most difficult theory out here. Balanna, give me 10 minutes. Once the class will be over. 10 minutes. Hari. Lamia, I know this class, I can't drag this class, so I can't be discussing questions and I can't be doing the theory also. So here, first of all, I'm finishing off the theory. On the YouTube channel, I will post the video also in the WhatsApp channel both in AdB and every channel out there. So we have 3 channels. Channel tunema දානවා අපි. ඒක දාන්නකොට ළමයි මම දාන්නම්. This classes recording will be uploaded. First thing that will be uploaded tomorrow in the morning or today in the night itself it will be uploaded. Next thing, within this week, end of this week, you will be getting a question discussion video. Question discussion video. That's a video where it's not a live class. It will be done as a video and uploaded to the YouTube channel. You need to watch that with this theory. Theory එක තියාගෙන ඒකත් හදාගෙන ඔයගොල්ලන් question එකක් හදන්න ගත්තා නම් ළමයි මේක පට්ට ලේසි වෙනවා. ආයිත් මම කියන්නේ this is going to be a super easy question if you are covering up that questions also in that class, because I can't be dragging the class until 12 o'clock. So I need to finish off by 11. So I'm finishing off the theory today. The last theory is now. I'll finish off the last theory and then do the questions also in a recorded video. Eka baluana lamai. Ugalange graph figure katam. Very good. Right. Now look at the book. Now I'm drawing the graph. ලස්සනට බලා ගන්න. This is a note that you are going to copy this down in your writing book. Right. Now I have a graph. Just come like this and note this. This is a graph. So I think what part is not possible. But I have a graph. Now I said, but always start off your graph from what? Your left hand side. Your left hand side. Hi. Now when I follow up the graph here, I'm saying this value is +2 and this value is -2. Now can you remember in your previous grades ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලන් ඇවිත්ලා පොඩි මේ number line එක ඉගෙන ගත්තනේ number line. If 2 is colored, මෙහෙම කරලා color කරලා 3 4 5 6 කියලා මේ පැත්තට color කරලා තිබ්බනම් ළමයි how will you write this inequality? X is greater than, as I have colored this, you will write equal. If I might have not colored it, you will write what? Color කරලා නැත්තම් you will ignore this equal sign and write it as x is greater than. Here again, method 3, I have colored this portion 2 1 0 -5. Here I will write x is less than 3. I'm gonna use this theory to make sure to explain the next thing. Then බලන්න මේක. දැන් ළමයා හොඳට බලා ගන්න. I'm starting off the graph from my what hand side, left hand side. When my hand is going down, it is decreasing. When it is going up, it is increasing. Now I'm starting the game. It's going down. It's one region for me. This is decreasing. From here to here, that is also decreasing. From here to here, my fingers are going up. That means it is increasing. From here to here, it is also increasing. Hi, I can බලන්න. Fingers are coming down in the sense decreasing, decreasing, increasing, increasing. Decreasing, yes, I have marked. Decreasing, yes, I have marked. From here to here, increasing. From here to here, increasing. Above the x-axis, I have two regions. Below the x-axis, I have two regions. Altogether, how many regions do I have? Four regions I have. Four regions I have. Above the x-axis, both the regions are positive and positive. Below the x-axis, both the regions are negative and negative. Now I'm gonna define this region for you. This is the region of graph where it is decreasing positively. What is the region? Decreasing positively. This region of the graph, I'm drawing Baran. This region of the graph is actually decreasing negatively. Decreasing negative. From here to here, this portion of the graph is increasing negatively. Why? The arrow is going up, increasing. This part is increasing negatively. From here to here, the portion is what? Increasing positive. If there are any grade 11 students, you might have struggled a lot in this. This is what is a summary. Make a Danagatanalai. Answer Pata. So is that clear how to define the four regions of the graph? Is that clear how to define the four regions of the graph? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, fine. I'm drawing another one. Draw.
Yes.
Make them maximum graph. Again, but start off from your left hand side. If you start off from your left hand side, your fingers are going up in the sense it is increasing. Fingers are going up in the sense it is increasing. Fingers are coming down in the sense it is decreasing. Fingers are coming down in the sense it is decreasing. Above the x-axis, positive and positive. Below the x-axis, it is negative and negative. How can I define this region of the graph? Increasing positively. How can I define this portion of the graph? Increasing
Negatively.
Increasing negatively. Negatively. How can I define this portion of the graph? Decreasing positively.
Increasing.
Decreasing positively. What about this portion of the graph? Decreasing negatively. Is that clear how to define the portion of the graph? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up. Everyone, give me a thumbs up. Super, super. Hi. I wanted you guys to please copy this down in the page number 56. Page number 56. There is an empty space here. Page number 56 again. Try to copy this down. I'll give you 2 minutes. Then there is a final thing. After that, I'll wind up the class. Hari. Once you are done, give me a thumbs up. මුලට රීසන් ලියන්න කියනවා නම් මට දාලා තියෙනවා බෑඩ් වර්ඩ්ස් ඔක්කොම දාලා තියෙනවා. ඒ decreasing க்கு வந்து ஷார்ட் ஃபார்ம் வந்து DEC வேற மாதிரி ஒண்ணும் இல்ல. ஐயோ ஐயோ. அது எனக்கு ෂෝට් ෆෝම් ලියනවා කියලා ෂෝට් ෆෝම් වෙනස් විදියට දාන්න. Hari. Is the session today clear for you guys?
Yes, sir.
Was it a yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Are you sure? Can you guys give me a heart reaction? Let's see. So can you guys unmute and speak also? Is it a yes or a no?
Yes, sir.
How was the session? Was it good?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All good.
Yes, sir.
All good. All good. All good. So much of love from my side. Thank you so much for joining the session today. So we have done with the theory part, and question will make sure the graph is completed. So before your exams, 14th, we'll be uploading a graph discussion, question discussion video to the YouTube channel and sharing it on the WhatsApp channels. You can go through that and make sure you guys are getting the maximum out of it. So I need a feedback on the chat box. Put some feedbacks that will make me to improve and motivate myself also, even if it's a bad one or a good one. I would really accept it. So I'll be waiting and I'll be clearing off all your doubts if you have. So put all your feedbacks in your chat box. Even though it's a paragraph, never mind, you can type it and send it. That's all for today. Good night, guys. See you guys in another online session.